It's just a beautiful venue, really intimate, excellent beer and excellent food, and really incredible music.
I absolutely love their quirky and intimate vibe.
The musicians love the place, and so the audience love it as well.
So we're in the music.
Yeah. Everyone thinks we're a couple. I don't know why.
We've been best friends since school, so we'd always talk about how amazing it would be to have a venue, the kind of venue that we'd like to hang out.
Yeah.
The kind of place where we'd like to go to listen to music.
Well, it reminds me a bit of playing at the Bluebird in Nashville. There's not much separation between the audience and the person who's singing, which is a really cool thing for the performer as well as the audience, I think. And it sounds really good too.
We have a bit of a philosophy here that I've tried to create. My favourite moments of Green Note are when you forget that there's anything between you and the musicians. And when you kind of break down that barrier between the performer and the audience, something really magical can happen in the room, and that's where we get our atmosphere from. It's a real pleasure to see a lot of the musicians come through here go on to bigger and better things. Sometimes they get a little bit too big to come back to our little tiny room that we love so much, but quite often they come back anyway and just don't tell that many people about it. It's a great feeling to feel like you've been a part of that journey to that kind of success.
There are plenty of things about the Green Note that make it exceptionally special as a venue, and not least the two women, Evie and Risa, that run it. Everything that they do seems to be done very gracefully and very effortlessly. You know, all the way from DIY to the big decisions, they're doing it all themselves.
We wanted to create a scene, bring a community to us, and there is a scene out there. I think we've tapped into it, but also created it as well.
This is not a business you do for the business side of it.
You've got to do it for the love of it.
For the love of it.
You just feel amazing vibrations. You just feel great when you're here. It's actually very, very rare, I find, in London to be at a place with so much heart.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Virtually Green Note. We hope you are all well. My name is Nick Harris, and I'm one of the audio engineers here at Green Note, and it's my great pleasure to be back with you once again, hosting some of the most amazing singer-songwriters that have graced the Green Note stage over the past few years. Welcome to those of you who have never been with us, and obviously welcome to all our regular visitors. It's great to have you back with us. Well, we have another stellar lineup for you again this evening. This time, for the first time in a couple of weeks, it's an all UK based lineup with 4 amazing performers rather than 3, and you'll find out why in a second. So let's get them introduced and brought up. So first of all, broadcasting from Devon this evening, they have a brand new live album out, which I know that they're going to talk about and place a few tunes from this evening. Please welcome Harbottle and Jonas. Good evening, guys. How are you doing?
Hello.
Great.
Good,
are you well?
Yeah, very well.
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Sorry. We've swapped jobs again tonight. My good colleague Carl, who some of you may come across, is running cameras tonight, and I've singularly failed to do a bit of my job, which was to change the test card while I was watching the video. Sorry. He's looked after me there. Thank you, Carl. We'll talk about that later. Now, from Somerset, Crew Kernet, nonetheless, is an artist that I know many of Green Note regulars will know very, very well indeed. He also has a new album out, an album called Raw. Please welcome Reg Meuross. Good evening, Reg.
Hi, Nick.
Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Thank you, yes. I'm glad that I can actually say good evening and not have to quickly change to good afternoon because somebody's performing in Nashville. That's quite nice.
Actually, my last gig was at the Green Note, and it was in the afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Oh,
that was my final gig. I think it was the 13th or 14th of March. Must have been close to your last gig as well, I would have thought.
Yeah, not too far off. I can't remember when we actually pulled the doors, but yeah. I think Harbottle and Jonas, you guys were fairly close to the wire as well, as I remember rightly. I remember doing your show.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was our last
Well,
UK show before lockdown.
Yeah,
all the festivals were getting cancelled, as I remember rightly. We were all looking at each other, getting slightly worried.
Yeah.
Okay, so last and definitely not least, another Green Note favourite. Please welcome, broadcasting from out in the sticks somewhere. Please welcome Charlie Dore. Good evening, Charlie. How are you?
Hello. I hope you can hear me.
Yes. Yeah, we've got you loud and clear.
Loud and clear, Charlie.
Am I looking totally pixelated?
No, you're a little bit.
In a kind of.
You look
a little bit.
You look good. You look
little
okay.
bit
Don't worry
pointless.
about it.
Thank you.
Great.
As our regular visitors or watchers know, we seldom have many problems with people dialing in from Nashville and from Australia and from Canada. We tend to encounter most of our problems from people who are just down the road. So we shall see how we go this evening. I shall hang on to my hat and. But anyway, let's get to the music. Oh, actually, do have to say, Charlie, you've got a new album coming out, so we'll talk about that a bit later as well. So it's an evening of new albums and English artists. So welcome all. Harbottle and Jonas, you are going first. So welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you. I'm going to take these out while we play. Thanks very much. We're going to play a song that we wrote, but it's a fairly old one now, and we've kind of revived it recently. It feels very poignant to sing at the minute, as kind of a tribute and homage to the amazing NHS staff and key workers who were risking their safety to keep us safe. So this is a song that Dave wrote about a British nurse called Edith Cavell. And she was kind of made famous, as it were. During the First World War, she was working nursing in Belgium, and while she was nursing, she also helped over 200 British, French and Belgian civilians and soldiers to escape Germany-occupied Belgium, go to the Netherlands where they could kind of be free and be kept safe. She was also tending to German soldiers who were, of course, the enemy, and she was eventually arrested by German soldiers, charged for treason. She was in prison for 10 weeks, and then she was shot at dawn by a German firing squad. And throughout the whole ordeal, the stories of her just paint an amazing picture of a very gentle, courageous woman who said she was doing her duty as a nurse to care and to love, which we think is a perfect portrait of nurses and key workers and people who keep us safe. So this is our song Edith Cavell.
She was binding the wounds of her enemies when they came. They battered the door with their rifle butts, crashed into it. They held her before the judges where they sat. With question and menace the judges assailed her. Yes, I have broken your laws, she said. I have tended the hurt and hidden the hunted, has done as a sister does to a brother. Deal as you will with me, to live in the life I vowed. In the terrible hour of the dawn when the veins are cold, they led her forth to the wall. She said, love requires of me all. She faced them gentle and bold. 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 She faced them gentle and bold.
Thank you.
Lovely. Is it my go? I think it might be my go. Hello from Somerset. I'm going to do a new song as well. This is a song, it's my lockdown song. I didn't really set out to do a lockdown song, but I listened to Bob Dylan's Murder Most Foul, which I just thought was a magnificent piece of work. And it inspired me, and I suppose if I'd been a racing driver, I would have got in a car and gone really fast, or a mountain climber, I would have headed for Everest, but I'm a songwriter, so I just ended up writing this song. And then a nice link there to Harbottle and Jonas. David and Freya ended up singing harmonies on this song. We had made a remote recording, sent it down to Vincent and down in Totnes, and Vince got... put it all together with Bethany Porter and Marion Fleetwood. So it's now a single and available on your computer, folks. It's called Shine On. Oh, I have to take half of this off, otherwise I can't hear anything. When all the world is staying home, the only voice is on the phone, and the TV and the radio just scream. And the city lords are making laws to keep us all behind closed doors. Suddenly the life turns to a dream, and it isn't yours and it isn't mine, while we're looking for a place to shine and glow. Shine on like a pearl inside a shell. Shine on like a lily in a well. Shine on when the city lights are gone. Shine on. When the whole world's sick with the same disease, nations fall down on their knees, time is running out to find a cure. That's when you hear the earth breathe out, nature's forces thrown in doubt, flow down in the rivers strong and pure. And the ocean beats the shore in time, while overhead the sun still shines and glows. Shine on like a song of Italy. Shine on like a lighthouse on the sea. Shine on when the city lights are gone. Shine on. Shine on. All around the people fell, doctors came to make them well, but soon they saw the grave mistake they'd made. while they saw to it the stars and moon were only dancing to their tune. They failed to see the piper wasn't paid. Shine on like a diamond in the mine. Shine on like the spirit of mankind. Shine on when the city lights are gone. Shine on. Shine on. So help the fragile and the weak, the lonely too afraid to speak. Help the ones who don't know what to do. Be responsible and kind. Use your sense, use your mind, and use your light to guide them safely through. And leave the angels to their rounds. See, they have the masks and gowns. When at last a cure is found, they know. Shine on like a pearl inside a shell. Shine on like a lily in a well. Shine on like the song of Italy. Shine on like a lighthouse on the sea. Shine on like a diamond in the mine. Shine on like the spirit of mankind. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's lovely. I'm sorry I was quiet before. I'd accidentally muted myself, so my response to David and Freya was very British and muted. Sorry.
We took it very
But
personally.
Lovely. Yes, yes. Well, we'll talk about that afterwards. I always think that American artists who do this show are so good at chatting in between, aren't they? They seem so easy with it, and sometimes I feel that well, especially
I don't know,
me. in this
I'm new to
situation.
this thing. I'm not sure what to do. I thought the silent clapping was a good idea. You know, I did a gig at a mute school, a deaf and dumb school once, which sounds like an odd thing to admit. But afterwards, when I'd finished, they all did this.
Goodbye.
And I said, what do they do if they really liked it? They go like this.
Oh.
Are you,
Well,
are you enforcing that for this evening? Is that what you want us to do?
Well, I don't know. It's an idea. It's visual.
Yes,
but we can just make a racket. I suppose we can shout at each other as well. Whatever you prefer, Charlie. Anyway, it's your go.
Yes, I go. I'm going to do a song called Collateral, which is the first track on my new album, which comes out on the 19th of this month, and it's called Like Animals. And the basic theme is that, well, as it says on the tin, that we haven't progressed that much. And I was very interested, particularly with the kind of things we've seen going on in the last few years, certainly, especially politically, is how the silverbacks and how the powerful are particularly animalistic. And this particular song was written about how when you're particularly addicted to power, the normal kind of empathy goes out of the window, because anyone who gets in your way is just really an inconvenience. And I'm not going to say who I was thinking of when I wrote this, but I'm sure you can all cast it for yourselves. I'm going to take these off now. So if my internet goes down, just wave at me. and I'll do my best. There was a man who didn't care, he didn't care as long as there were rules to deny. And so unfettered by self-doubt, with confidence he rose high. And he could sense the deference in leaden-footed duffers when they realized he feared no one. And he remembered drinking games in college days they wish he'd forgotten. But when a man can hold his drink while others duck, he doesn't blink at men gone rotten. And he could sense the deference in leaden-footed duffers when they realized he was pulling the strings. No matter how strong, they always fall. He flicks off the dust, they're just collateral. He loved to make the dial spin, adrenaline from the beginning. He had a wife, he had a child, but nothing made his pulse go wild like winning. And when the herd is sown thick, it's fun to be the maverick and watch them turning, just cracking the whip. Oh, matter how strong, they always fall. He flicks off the dust, they're just collateral. Oh, my children, wait for me. I'm only breaking the glass so you can see. No matter how strong, they always fall down. He flicks off the dust, they're just collateral. He wrote his book on strategy, now just a curiosity, a mark of his time. His words once so inspiring now have a kind of hollow ring, but one thing still chimes. As sure as bankers hide their wealth, a younger version of yourself will be there waiting, 'cause you're collateral. You're just collateral. You're just collateral. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Did you hear all of that?
It was slightly distorted, but it's a great song. Blimey, you covered a few chords there, Charlie.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
want to read those words better, because I couldn't quite hear all the words, but it sounded really some really good stuff there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. I'm sure you probably can guess some of the people it may be about.
Got an idea.
Anyway. Yes.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mustn't let those things go.
Lovely.
Oh.
I think we're gonna play our cover now. So we're gonna play, I think this evening, 4 songs each 3 originals and a cover, and so this is our cover.
This is Our Town by Iris
Seamless.
Dement.
And you know the sun's setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Well, go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, 'cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun setting down on our town, on our town? Good night. Up the street beside the red neon light, that's where I met my baby on one hot summer night. He was the tender and I ordered a beer. It's been 40 years and I'm still sitting here. But you know the sun's setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Well, go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, 'cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun setting down on our town, on our town? Good night. It's here I have my babies, I have my first kiss. I've walked down Main Street in the cold morning mist. Over there is where I bought my first car. It turned over once, but then it never went far. And I can see the sun setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Well, go on now and kiss you goodbye, but hold on to your lover, 'cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun setting down on our town, on our town? Good night. I buried my mama and I buried my pa. They sleep up the street beside that pretty brick wall. I bring them flowers about every day, but I've just gotta cry when I think what they'd say. If they could see how the sun's setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Well, go on now and kiss it goodbye, but hold on to your lover, 'cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, to our town. Can't you see the sun setting down on our town, on our town? Good night. Now I sit on the porch and watch the lightning bugs fly, but I can't see too good, I got tears in my eyes. Leaving tomorrow, but I don't wanna go. I love you, my town, you'll always live in my soul. But I can see the sun setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. Well, go on, I gotta kiss you goodbye, but I'll hold to my lover, 'cause my heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to my town, to my town. Can't you see the sun setting down on my town, on my town? Good night.
lovely. I love Iris Dement, and I think she loved that.
Gorgeous version, really lovely.
Yeah, lovely version. Yes.
Iris, the author of "God May Forgive You, But I Won't."
Yes.
We fell in
Oh.
love with her for the collaboration she did with John Prine and kind of and worked backwards from there.
Yeah, lovely.
Fabulous.
Yeah. She's sad and funny as well, isn't she? She can be sad and funny, which is a lethal mix.
Yeah.
It's very disconcerting, Charlie, because I can hear you, but you don't seem to be moving.
Oh,
It's a fantastic
I'm
act.
conserving. I'm co-energy, actually.
You should get a puppet. You should have a hand puppet. It'd be brilliant.
Well, I should actually. Actually, puppetry is. I've been thinking about puppetry recently, as we've seen some puppeteering going on recently. But just to let you, I've got you probably can't see it here, but I've got a generator here by my side in the kitchen, and it's doing nothing. But anyway.
Oh, guys, I'm going to... Oh, Carl, if you can bring me back a little second, because I'm just going to get Charlie to do something. Charlie, you have frozen, so
Yes.
For those our regular visitors, when we do have a bigger problem, I try to stay out of the proceedings, but I will step in at the moment. Can you do me a favour? Can you log out, log back in again, and we'll see, because you've completely frozen.
Yes, I will.
We may have to...
Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me, or just not see
Sound
me?
a bit like Cher from I Believe.
yeah. There's a definite auto-tune
Hey,
vibe
that's
going on, I think.
That's a whole career that I've missed. Okay,
You've been exposed. That's
I'll
how you
get
do
the-
it.
Actually, my very fast vibrato has been likened to auto-tune, but it's not. Anyway, I'm going to get out of your hair and I'm going to boot. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
I may be sometime. See you.
Okay. Well, with the stuff that's going on at the moment in America, specifically in Minneapolis, I thought I'd do this song, and it's a song I wrote back in 2014 about Michael Brown, the death of Michael Brown, who was executed really by a policeman, shot 6 times for supposedly stealing cigarettes. The policeman got off. In fact, they said afterwards that Wilson, which was his name, who shot Michael. Michael was 18 years old in Ferguson, Missouri. They said that Wilson had violated no protocol in his deadly interaction with Brown, yet he was part of a corrupt and racist system. And clearly that's still going on now. And so I thought I'd play this song tonight. And I've called it The Lonesome Death of Michael Brown, as a kind of echo of The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll, which was a Dylan song and not a dissimilar story. Not gonna be black no more, not gonna be white no more, not gonna be wrong no more, not going to fight no more. Just gonna be voices now, blue sky full of voices now, calling for you to straighten up your houses now. Not gonna be blood no more, not gonna be skin no more, not frightened to lose no more, not hoping to win no more. Just gonna be voices now, close voices in harmony, calling down from a clear blue sky, from a position of sanity. Oh, Michael Brown, 6 bullets cut him down. Oh, Michael Brown. Wrong on the streets of Ferguson, wrong in Baltimore 63, wrong in Minneapolis, wrong in this society. Won't play that card no more, black and white the old excuse. Singing down from a clear blue sky makes a man speak his own truth. Oh, Michael Brown, 6 bullets cut him down. Oh, Michael Brown, not even 20 yet, might have stole some cigarettes. Nobody should die like that. Be calm and try to see, and for your own sake understand, about your God who teaches love, at least not to murder your fellow man. Tell me what great ideal has got your back, will see you through, then spread sorrow across the world, makes that God turn his back on you. Oh, Michael Brown, 6 bullets cut him down. Oh, Michael Brown, not even 20 yet, might have stole some cigarettes. You could have been counterfeit. What kind of law, what kind of land, where a young man can die like that? Thank you.
That's wonderful. Freya was harmonised along.
That's a great song.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can now, but we can only see you from the chin up.
Oh.
You
Hang
need
on.
to.
Oh.
There you are.
How's that?
Lovely.
Oh, there we
no,
go.
no, a bit kind of somewhere
How's
in
that?
between. That's lovely.
Yes. I'm surprised you can see me. Well, I've rebooted.
No, you're great now. You're
And
very clear.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, I did. I messaged all my neighbours and I said, I know this is a big ask, but could you please get off Netflix? And
Well, it
so
worked.
maybe that's worked. So yes. Well, without further ado, another song from the Like Animals album is a song called Animal Brain, because it's a fascinating thing. And when I started looking into the whole thing of how like animals we are and how little we've progressed, really, I was reading about the amygdala, which is an extraordinary little machine in your brain. It looks like 2 little almonds, and it drives all the emotions. And well, I'll let the song do some of the talking. Animal brain, please don't hurt me. Lying awake, I hear you pacing in your cage. You plot revenge, and I forgive, but you don't. Animal brain, you're so wary. here in the dark, you're still watching. Long ago, you closed my eyes so I'd forget. But you don't, you don't. I have reason, you don't care. When I look behind the wall of all my rules and consequences, you're there, you're there. Animal brain, I still hear you close in my ear. You lead me out of bounds to wilderness where I'll be lost. But I follow, I follow. Animal brain, I still feel you. Always awake, always here. Always awake, always here. Thank you.
Such a
Lovely, Charlie.
stunning voice.
That was really beautiful.
You were way up
Thank
there.
you. Yes, it is kind of up in the rafters, but it's just the way it came out.
Fair enough.
Oh, thank you guys. That's amazing. This lovely to just to spend an evening with you. I always do say that I've probably got the best job on the internet, which is sort of being here a couple of times a week, listening to just amazing people, amazing songwriters and singers. So thank you. We've made it to the first half. I'm not going to mention anything about internet problems in case I jinx it. Oh, I probably already have done. That's probably already cursed it. Oh well. So for those of you who are familiar with what we do, after a couple of rounds we take a little break. We let the artists just have a moment to grab a cup of tea and do all of that sort of stuff, so we can say goodbye to them for a little sec. And the other thing we do is the founders of Green Note, the two ladies who book all of this stuff, curate the shows, own the venue in the real world, and have created this amazing thing that is Green Note, come and say hello. So let's welcome them up. So Imi and Risa, good evening. How you doing?
Hey, Nick.
How you
Hey,
doing?
Nick.
All right.
Hey, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Starting to forget what
Risa.
the real world is like these days.
Yeah.
God, the technology just continues to keep us on our toes. At least
one of those nights.
I know at Green Note, when we have these issues, we do it all by candlelight and everyone's acoustic. But with the internet, you can't do that. So it's thanks guys for sticking with us tonight. It's I'm glad. Charlie seems to have her sound sorted now. So fingers crossed.
It's really nice. Fingers crossed. And it's nice to see the comments coming in and how supportive everyone's being, isn't it? Because we've done everything we can. We sound checked everyone, and everyone was sounding great during sound check. So sometimes these things just take a little moment and then they settle down of their own accord. So it seems to have with Charlie. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know we're pleased about.
Yeah, but yeah, another really beautiful show, and yeah, really enjoying the music tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing. We had some really good songs there.
So yeah, as we said earlier, or as Nick has said, and as you saw at the beginning, we're here every Wednesday and Friday with Virtually Green Note while our venue is closed. No idea when that's reopening, but for now, here we are online. Yeah, follow us on social media if you don't already. If you're watching on YouTube, if you just hit the little subscribe button underneath, then we'd really appreciate you subscribing to our channel. And if you hit the little alarm bell thing, you'll get a notification of when shows are coming up and new shows being announced and things like that. So yeah, if you haven't done that yet, please just hit those buttons. Facebook, if you're watching there, follow us or like us, whatever. Yeah, I think like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on, or whatever it is you do on Spotify. Just, yeah, we're on all the social media, so please just could find us on all of that. And yeah, our YouTube is just below. What else? Oh, next show. So we're really, really excited for our next show, which is Friday. We've got one of our favorite singer-songwriters of all time. Amy and I have been fans of Dar Williams since we were teenagers, actually. And she was actually, before we started Green Note, she was on our wish list of artists that would love to grace our stage one day. But I mean, it was like a serious wish list. We never actually thought she'd be gracing our stage. Well, she hasn't graced our physical stage yet, so we're really excited that she's going to be with us on Friday, gracing our virtual stage. So that should be an amazing show. It's who else is on there? Cara Luft and Erin McEwen. So it's, yeah, a really special lineup, and we're really excited about that. And then we're a bit slow announcing these, but we've just announced next week's shows this week as well. We've got Brennan Lee, Hannah Johnson, who you probably know from the Toy Hearts and the Broken Hearts, and Amelia White. So they're going to be playing on, I forget the order, it's either Wednesday or Friday. And on the other night, whichever those guys aren't on, it's Emma King, Sean Taylor and Dan Betteridge. So it's two really, yeah, we've got a lot of really exciting lineups coming up, actually. So yeah, tune in again, please. Yeah. What else?
And if you don't know any of those artists, it's a good chance to discover new ones because they're all excellent. And
yeah, they really are.
So any Wednesday or Friday at 8 p.m. UK time, if you fancy just hearing some great music, this is the place to be. Virtually Green Note is the place to be.
Oh, and if you can't, sorry, one quick thing. If you are not able to be here live on the night, we do leave them running for a week afterwards on YouTube. So if you aren't able to tune in live, please check them out later. Or if you are watching live and you know of a friend or someone that you think would like to see it, you can direct them to it afterwards if they've missed it. But it is always much more fun to watch live.
Yeah.
You get to do all the comments and read the comments, and it just feels a bit more, live. So
yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, partly it's the comments and partly it's just the feeling to know that, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
You're sharing in the experience with all of us. And I know there's a lot of people out there watching live right now, including a couple of Green Note staff. I've just seen their names pop up, which is really nice.
Oh.
And we miss you. Rob just sent a nice message. So thanks, Rob. And it's very strange, we used to seeing you all and sharing and, having you guys behind the bar and watching the gigs together. But it's nice that you're still being part of it all. And obviously it's great having Nick and Carl on board doing the behind the scenes magic. Yeah, we were doing, just a quick word about this, we were doing after show Zoom hangouts. And we're taking a little break from those for a few weeks. So if you were hoping to join us tonight, we won't be having one. But yeah, we'll see about that in a few weeks' time. It was just becoming a very long evening, wasn't it? Sometimes so much screen time, because for us it's we're online a lot earlier, way before these shows actually go live. Anyway, just a few words about how we're running these shows. Is we're not selling tickets for them, but we are taking donations. If you're watching and if you're able to, we'd love you to make a donation. With the donations for each night, each show is a separate entity, and each donations for this particular night are going to get divided 4 ways between the 3 artists and the venue. The suggested donation is £10, but whatever you can manage would be hugely appreciated. And yeah, we've seen there's already quite a few donations coming in, and if we could encourage anyone who's watching and can to donate, and we can keep these shows going as long as our venue is closed. It's what we hope we will be able to do.
Yeah.
So bring you more amazing lineups.
And yeah, the PayPal link is just below, and it's also been posted in the Facebook and YouTube, so you should find it all over the place.
So PayPal's the easiest way to donate, and if you don't have PayPal or can't, just send us a quick email and we'll figure something else out. But for now, shall we get back to the music for tonight? And fingers crossed for no more technology problems.
I know, seriously. All right, enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, guys. We shall get back to the music. And as Risa mentioned, I've just shoved the PayPal link up into the chat, both on Facebook and YouTube. So follow it there, or have a look at the event descriptions below where you're watching, and you should find it there too. Right, let's have some tunes. So let's welcome back Freya and Dave, Reg and Charlie.
Howdy.
And we shall.
Hiya.
I think everybody now knows what the Green Note YouTube banner is, so we can get rid of that. And we'll just pass back over to Freya and David. Go on.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. So we're going to sing a song of ours called Northumberland now for you, which is from our previous album, Anna is a Dancer.
Just before we start, the drone noise that, if you've been tuning in, the drone noise that you can hear or heard on the last song we did, is coming from the floor. There's a harmonium down there. And Nick said, just to let you know, for this one, it's on the tremolo setter. So it's going to sound, it's going to cut in and out, but that's okay.
God bring me to Northumberland, the land where I was born.
Great.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Where does that song come from, guys?
That was one. The words are a poem.
By Wilfred Gibson. He was the. Sorry, we went on to screensaver mode there,
We
so you were just like in space somewhere.
Yes,
so-
my system seems to be energy saving without my permission.
Yeah, he was the people's poet of Hexham, but
He wrote the music.
yeah.
Set it to some moody music.
Oh, and also it's nice to know where the drone was coming from, because I wanted to ask earlier and then I went all pixelated, so I wasn't able to ask. But, it's good to know. Good to know that you weren't just doing that kind of throat singing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my cover now. And this is the first time, and probably the only time I'll ever play this song. But I've done many memorable gigs at the Green Note. I've launched at least one, possibly more albums at the Green Note, and it's one of my favourite venues anywhere in the world. And somebody, I think it was Kim Ritchie, mentioned earlier how it's similar to the Bluebird, and I played the Bluebird too, and I would say that the Green Note wins hands down. The Bluebird is a lovely place, but the Green Note is best. And the very first time I ever played the Green Note was as an honorary Cole Porter with Sid Griffin. And one of the songs that Sid did was this one, and it's a Velvet Underground song. It's called Femme Fatale. Here she comes, you better watch your stare. She's going to break your heart in two, it's true. Just look into her eyes, it's not hard to realize. She builds you up just to put you down, what a clown. 'Cause everybody knows she's a femme fatale. Things she does to please, a femme fatale. Just a little tease, a femme fatale. See the way she walks, see the way she talks. Put down in her book your number 37, take a look. She's going to smile to make you frown, what a clown. Little boy, she's from your street. Before you start, you're already beat. She's going to play you for a fool. Yes, it's true, 'cause everybody knows she's a femme fatale. Things she does to please, a femme fatale. Just a little tease, a femme fatale. See the way she walks, hear the way she talks. Everybody knows. Here she comes, you better watch your stare. She's She's going to break your heart in two. It's true. It's not hard to realize. Just look into her false-colored eyes. She'll build you up just to put you down. What a clown. 'Cause everybody knows she's a femme fatale. Things she does to please, a femme fatale. Just a little tease, a femme fatale. See the way she walks, hear the way she talks, 'cause everybody knows, everybody knows. Thank you. Charlie's gone.
Yes. Oh, we're having all sorts of fun and games with the internet connection down down in Berkshire. So currently Charlie's logged out because we were having problems. She's logging back in again. So what I think we'll probably do is, I would normally mug if it was half time, and we'll see, but I'm not going to trust that she's going to come back. So for a second, so if we pass back over to Freya and Dave, if you don't mind doing one, and then oh no, I've mugged enough. Here we go. Charlie's back. Yeah, you're doing nothing for my blood pressure tonight, Charlie Dore. I tell you that.
Am I here?
Yeah.
I go up and down like a bride's nightie, honestly.
I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry, it's just some old-fashioned saying. Cover your ears, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm going to do...
Let's go over to Charlie.
Cover the children.
I was going to tell you a story about how I met Reg, but I think what I better do is
Oh no, tell me, because I've forgotten.
Well, Reg and I go back a long way.
It was a long time ago. I remember.
It was a very long time ago. Yes. Yes, I remember Reg in short trousers. But no, we both lived in North London, in Highgate. And in those days, Reg was a very young boy. He didn't even have children of his own at that point. I remember...
I didn't tell you where I got them from, did I?
Ah, you fox. But anyway, so my other half, Tom, bought a very old BMW. And Reg is one who likes old cars. And he was giving Reg a ride in the car, and Reg was impressed with the car and said, "Oh, what year is it?" And Tom said to him, "Why, Reg?" And Reg said, "Well, I'm just interested, really." And that was a genuine phenomenon. Anyway, yes,
it's only happened once in my lifetime.
Yes, it's sometimes. I mean, there's not many people called Reg, but. No. It's one of those jokes that you'll only hear once. Anyway, I'm going to do my cover now. This is a cover. This is a band that I'm sure many of you will know, the Milk Carton Kids. They're from the States, but I've known their name for years, but not really known them and their work. And I came across this very odd song, and I was drawn. Because it said things like, "Your mother's a program, you're losing your mind, true love is binary, beauty's a lie." And I thought that just seemed so weird and odd that I had to have a go at it. So this is my go at it. And I actually Googled what is this song about, because it's so bizarre and so obscure. And the guy who wrote it, Joe, whose surname I forget, unfortunately, he said, I was being sarcastic. So that gave me a lot of clues. Anyway, make of it what you will. I'm going to take these off now. Nothing is real, you're fooling yourself. nothing is real. I'm sick to my stomach. There's got to be something else. Nothing is real. Your mother's a program. You're losing your mind. True love is binary. Beauty's a lie. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. Why should I? Nothing is real. Open your heart. All that you feel is coded and prisoned in pixels and algorithms. Nothing is real. The wind isn't blowing. The sun isn't shining. Songs are just subroutines. Values aside, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind. How could I? How could I? Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Well, it's normally Nico. You can't understand a word she's saying.
Make of that what you will. They are brilliant, actually, the Milk Carton Kids, and there's the one of them is an extraordinary guitar player. I mean, it just knock your socks off and make you shut yourself up and practice for 1,000 years.
You're an extraordinary guitar player.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind, but too many jazz chords sometimes.
Oh, it's this again. So we're going to play a song off our most recent album. Well, prior to lockdown, we managed to get a live album to try and help us out. This was from our previous album, The Sea Is My Brother, and it's a song about coastal erosion. So why not, eh? There's a beautiful little village, or it used to be a village, called Hall Sands, nearby where we live.
Which has now been taken by the sea, and it's a lovely walk out that way, and you're not really allowed down into the ruined village because it's dangerous and still crumbling into the sea. But there's just a couple of houses left, half clinging onto the cliffside, and you can see. Are we good?
Sorry, guys, I'm going to just step in a minute. It's going to be one of those things. We're having all sorts of fun and games with the internet connections tonight. And for those of you who haven't been with us before, it's a little bit more complicated than your average internet show, because what we do is we're bringing in about 7 streams from 7 different places and delivering them out to you guys. And Freya and David had to reboot because their connection was a bit buggy. And you guys are now super, super quiet. We can't really hear you talk. So I do not know what's going on there. If you want to just give us a bit more gain, that would be great. Maybe the reboot has reset something.
Any better now?
I don't think so. Give it a bit more. Play for me a second. Okay.
How's that?
That's okay. Check that cam mic setting. Has it reset itself? You know the one I mean?
Guitar, dear.
Sorry, guys. Everybody
That's
who's watching.
okay. It might be we turned ourselves down because the next one is the loud one.
Oh, okay. It might just be a
So
bit of that then.
Could be that. So we could have it up while we talk, and then I'll turn
Yeah,
it down.
it's all right. Yeah, that's okay. We're having all sorts of fun this evening.
That box.
This is what happens when you... Good. That's what happens when you book 3 British artists, because I think all the servers probably sit in China or America somewhere. So, thank you guys. Let's get on with the show. Sorry about that.
So glad I put trousers on. I was going to stick to the shorts.
Awkward with the shorts.
So here we go. This is a song called Wholesons, which leads into an instrumental that we wrote called Elizabeth Prettyjohn, who is the last remaining resident of Wholesons.
And talking of CDs and merch, we've got there is our website, and we have all our CDs to buy and to download as well. So I'll turn us back down now for the loud song. The moon is bright on Devon sands, the pale moon brings the tide, and the cold green water's greedy hands are clutching far and wide. Oh, snaky are the salt green waves that wash the scattered shells. They come from making sailors' graves and tolling sunk ships' bells. Shall I fall, leave my flock of graves, not for all your reveling ways? I stand fast, let the waters cry, here I last to the eternal sky. Nipping greedy at the stone which props the scattered town, they cannot leave her rocks alone, they've been to sink and drown. The beams are cracking and the walls are breaking, while the sea looks landward steadily and galls those huts of brick and tree. Shall I fall, leave my flock of graves, not for all your reveling ways? I stand fast, let the waters cry, here I last to the eternal sky. So when the wind is setting cold and sharp from the southeast, and the great salt water running bold, it's then the town will cease. But that its wretched ruins then, though sunken utterly, will show how the brute greed of man helps feed the greedy sea. Shall I fall, leave my flock of graves, not for all your reveling ways? I stand fast, let the waters cry, here I last to the eternal sky.
I love that song. I really love that song, and I remember seeing it when Reg and I did Folk Expo last year, at the end of last year. You guys, I think, were busy doing something else, but so we had your video, and that was a really brilliant, a great feel to it. It was lovely. So it's nice to hear you play it, and it's got you know, an added plus of just having that live energy. It's lovely.
Oh, thank you.
It's great. I went to All Sands a long time ago, and I wanted to write a song about it, and I couldn't get a handle on it, and you've done it really beautifully, really well. Well done. It was a song waiting to happen, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Definitely. It's a great story. Well, I do a Sunday jukebox every week, and it's a Reg jukebox. You can only choose Reg songs, and every Sunday, and so we didn't do one this week. And the way to get into it, by the way, is Reg Meuross Music on Facebook. And if you go there on Friday, then Katie, our manager, of all of us, all of us, or our agent, Katie, there she is. She takes all the requests, and they all go up on my Facebook page, and then I do half a dozen or so on Sunday. And we didn't do them this week, and we invited people to request something for this show, and instead, because we wanted you to come and be here with us on Wednesday night. So, and this one won hands down. It's a song called England Green and England Grey, and if I was rich and successful, I could say this song's been very good to me. But relatively speaking, this song has been very good to me. And so it has a chorus. You can sing along out of sync if you want. I played this song at the end of last year. I did a gig in Alstonfield in Derbyshire, and all the way through the first set, I had this voice come from the audience. It was a very folky audience, packed out with folkies, and but this voice kept saying, "This is England." After every song, "This is England," and I thought, oh no, I've somehow managed to have attracted the BNP contingent, and how did that happen? And then in the break, I was standing there at the CD table. You remember CD tables, and this huge man, Bob, came up to me and he said, "You're going to be playing that song, 'This is England'?" And I said, "Yeah, you mean England Green and England Grey?" And he said, "Yeah, that's right, this is England." And I said, of course, Bob wasn't the sort of person you said no to. And I said, "Bob, you don't strike me as your typical folk club fan, but here you are, and so what brings you here?" And he said, he sort of looks over his shoulder, he says, "Well, I was looking through car registration numbers and your name came up." So you don't have to make it up, folks. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay, to my home, my love, my England. I believe in dignity, rich or poor, we're all born free. Austerity and slavery, I thought they were behind us. I don't believe the BBC, anarchy or monarchy, or an empire built on piracy. By our history you'll find us. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay, to my home, my love, my England. For years our women had no say, no right to work help the crippled and the gay, the fragile flowers of England. Shut the factories, shut the mines, punish those fell on hard times, while they honor them who do the crimes, the greedy men of England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay, to my home, my love, my England. How can a man respect a man who sells his house and steals his land and takes the wages from his hand to pay his own expenses? The NHS, our England's jewel, is bartered by Westminster's fool to justify his public school and military defences. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay, to my home, my love, my England. Sing the songs of old John Bull, Cecil Sharp and John and Paul. Come English folk, come one and all, to the sweet songs of our England. Take my hand and walk with me down the back roads to the sea, where in spite of all we'll both agree there is none so sweet as England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay, to my home, my love, my England. Thank you.
Wonderful song.
Oh, well, it's a hit.
This is England,
It's a hit.
one of my all-time favourite songs.
Yeah.
I saw that and I almost cracked up. Thank you. I'll get you next time.
We've nicked it off you. I'm sure you're aware, and so hopefully you should be getting some royalties, because we do put it all through PRS for our live performances. But there's always when we introduce it.
It's a lovely version. I should just add, me and David and Freya, Harbottle and Jonas, we've been doing some collaborations, and you just put one up tonight, didn't you?
Yeah.
We've been doing some folk collaborations, and I think they go up every Wednesday. Is that right on your site? Tonight we did Lord Randall.
Mm.
So
It's been such a joy.
You
to
did
be
Lord
with you.
Randall?
Yeah, we did Lord Randall.
Does Mrs. Randall know?
We did Lord Franklin as well.
Oh my God.
We've been at it.
Serial offenders.
I know.
Serial offenders. Well, I knew if you three were left alone together, there's something would happen.
We also did a due sweet lovely Nancy, but we won't talk about that.
Nancy's, yes. I think this is. I better play before I. But first of all, I'd just like to say again, I know and love the Green Note very much, and I've done quite a few gigs there down the years with various people. One person who I haven't mentioned so far, but who I should, is Julian Lippman, who is usually my co-pilot in these adventures. But he's obviously he's in his little place, and I'm in mine. So, I wrote Collateral with him, and I wrote Animal Brain with him. But this song is one I wrote with someone else, but this person I met through Green Note, and it's someone many of you will know, which is Michelle Stoddart. And I met her at the Green Note, and when they did a Brain to Mouth, when they did the women's celebration of Women's Year last year. They asked me to be part of it, and that's how I got to know Michelle. And so we wrote a song together. And this song is again on the Like Animals album, and it's really about, I don't know if there's a name for this, but you know when you kind of go into space and you just stare like this, like a ruminant, and apparently that's necessary for the brain. It's to have those little breaks when somebody says to you, "What are you thinking of?" and you go, "What? I don't know." And it's just like your brain coasting. And I think particularly, you know, the kind of lives we lead now, we sort of need to do that. Need to just stand and stare like an animal. And so Michelle and I wrote this, and I hope she approves. This is the first time I've ever played this live. So I'm going to take these off now, and hope you like it, Michelle. Thank you, Green Note, for having me as part of this, and I'm going to speak roughly to my internet afterwards. This is called 100 Miles of Nothing. 100 miles of nothing is all I really crave. A window to infinity is all that I would crave. I'm going to start that again because I did the jazz version, sorry. 100 miles of nothing is all I really crave. A window to infinity so I can look away out into the distance where there no one knows the time. 100 hours of silence just sleeping in my ear. Hold on to the second hand so as minutes disappear. Out on the horizon where there's another mountain to climb. And all the feet on early street, they hurry, chasing time, time and time again. And I should know the steps repeat, but I don't. 100 miles from nowhere, I wonder how that feels to click that little engine off and step down from the wheel. I just need a wilderness to build a little space to breathe. And all the words I've ever said returning, hanging in the empty air, falling, and I can lie with nothing on my mind here, and cars go by with trails of light like your eyes shining. And all the people that I've been, I hear you. Now I'm singing in a choir of one, so low. 100 miles of nothing, that's all I really need. A window to infinity so I can truly be out there on the distance where there's a little space to be. Out on the horizon where there's a little little space to be.
Beautiful
I
song,
can't wait
Charlie.
to,
what a tune!
Yeah, that's
Fantastic
really
tune.
good.
Thank you. Well, we
I
really
can't wait to listen to your new album.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's funny, isn't it, when you first write with somebody, you know, there's always a kind of, moment where you're sort of assessing how truthful you can be. But it was just really easy writing with Michelle, and it forced me to write sometimes in a slightly different way, which was good, and it was lovely. So I hope she approves of that version, even though there were some jazz chords, but.
Will the jazz version be on the CD as well?
I might be releasing that as on vinyl, actually.
On cassette tape.
Oh, cassette. Oh yes, cassettes. Of course,
They've
I've
made a
still got a
comeback,
load of
haven't they?
those. Yes, actually, Reg and I made some cassettes together. We wrote a song called "The Wedding Dress," didn't we?
We did.
That's on an old cassette, gathering dust somewhere.
That's also on a CD. That's on my Goodbye Hat CD, The Wedding Dress.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I just wanted to say, yes, you've got my website address anyway, haven't you? I think it came up. I thought it was a message saying, we can't hear you. And
No.
You fine.
No.
But thank you to Nick very much for looking after it.
Oh, that's all
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
And Carl
It's
as
Nick
well.
and Carl and Imi.
And to Imi and Risa for running these evenings. And I just also wanted to say quickly that I had a message yesterday that we get super fast broadband the 15th of August.
Right. We shall speak to me and Risa, and we shall rebook with new improved broadband. Yes, sometimes the gods of the internet are they're very beneficial or beneficent, and sometimes they choose to hurl lightning bolts in somebody's direction, and we've definitely had a few scattered showers this evening. But a massive thanks to all of you who've tuned in and stuck with this absolutely wonderful evening of music. As Imi and Risa mentioned during the halftime sort of show, we don't ticket the events. We don't put them behind a paywall or anything like that. They are free at the point of entry, but we do ask if you can make a donation via the PayPal links. That's something completely different. PayPal, yeah. The PayPal links that are floating around in the event descriptions. Anything that you can donate will be more than welcome. And as I've mentioned previously, the other ways obviously you can help artists at this time and help venues is by buying merch. So we'll just have a quick once around. Obviously, David and Freud, you have a new live album that's coming, and you're doing some streaming sessions as well. Where do you want to point people?
I think the best, if you want to support us, the best place to go is on our Bandcamp, which has all of our physical CDs that we've done, and we keep most of the money. It's quite a small commission that they take.
Are they doing a free Friday? Are they waiving their fees again this Friday?
I think, yeah, indefinitely on the Fridays, from what I can gather. So that's a good, so we'd get 100%, which would be brilliant.
Excellent.
And I don't think we've got any, I think we're kind of streamed out a little bit. I think we've got a few bits and bobs coming up, but it's just like in this music room, it's very clammy and it's very sweaty. And we're trying to be TV producers, we've got like the light shining in our face. Yeah. But it just makes for a very hot room.
Shiny forehead.
I can imagine.
We miss people.
But we're very active on social media platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We're still putting content out, even if it's not live streams. There are still videos popping up and things, such as our collaboration with Reg this evening.
Sweet.
So yes.
And a beautiful segue Reg, I know you say you've got a new album out, and
Yeah.
obviously you're doing a lot of some regular streaming and things like that. Where should people go to
Well,
find
I'm
what you're
just
up to?
doing. I'm doing the stuff with Dave and Freya, and that's a kind of an ongoing thing, I hope. And I've done also doing something with Phil Beer. I think we're doing a video together, and Marion Fleetwood, and so just everybody's kind of linking up in different ways, which is lovely. It's this kind of this emerging spider web of musicians all kind of connecting with each other. So it's quite interesting what's coming up. Obviously, I'd like people to go and buy my album too, Raw, which is available at my website, regmeuross.com, and all the information is there. And the Sunday afternoon jukebox. So if you go to Reg Meuross Music on a Friday and then leave your request, and then Sunday I'll try and do what I can to get some songs out.
Beautiful.
And I just want to say thanks to all these lovely people. I don't know if you see the same screen as we do, but we can see your messages on the side, and there's some really beautiful feedback there, some lovely comments from everyone. So thanks to all of you for tuning in, and thanks to the Green Note for hosting such a gorgeous event. It's great.
All right. Thank you. And Charlie, obviously, new album, collaborations. What's going on?
Yes. The Like Animals it comes out on the 19th, and we'll be actually we've just booked some gigs for exactly a year ahead. It's like this year never happened, except online, of course.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing gigs next June, sort of picking up where we left off, and we. Hopefully, when we do actually do the real launch, we will have all our guests. We had lovely Jackie Oates on the album as well, and Gareth Hugh Davis, our wonderful bass player, Julian Littman playing everything known to man, and also Michelle, obviously, and also we've got some lovely trumpet on it by Quentin Collins. So we're hoping to have all those people, kidnap all those people for when we launch. But in the meantime, there'll be some stuff online, and hopefully I can actually meet David and Freya in the flesh at some point. Stop meeting online, and see Reg again, and also come back to the Green Note.
Excellent. Well, I'm used to your, shall we say, large collection of instruments turning up at the Green Note, so that I shall remain braced for that sort of orchestral special that sounds like you're already planning for that album.
Well, you've been very, very elegant and polite about it. We've had quite a few people who've soundmen that we've traumatized by turning up. When they thought it's a duo. They have a couple of guitars each, and we come in with this pantechnicon of instruments, and they go pale.
Yes, well, I managed to disguise it well, although I must admit
you do.
Yeah, the last time that you played and Michelle Stoddart was there, she looked at me and went, right, okay, that's a challenge. I'm going to see what I can bring. So I think that people would just try to upscale it after you. But anyway, enough of that. No, it's fine.
Sorry.
I like a challenge. That's why I do this. That's why I'm doing this. Excellent. Well, thank you everybody for watching, joining us on what is yet another wonderful evening of fantastic music making. As we said, we're here every Wednesday and Friday with some of the best songwriters, performers that have graced the stage over the last few years at Green Note. International lineups, as well as all UK lineups. So Friday is Dar, Erin and Cara, so do check out that would be amazing. Do sign up to all the social medias so that you know what things are coming your way. Sign up to the mailing list as well. We don't spam you, so a couple of times a month, I think. So all I have to say is Harbottle and Jonas, Reg Meuross, Charlie Dore, thank you so much. Thank you all of you who have tuned in. All we're going to say now is good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being there.